What up? It's your boy King A9. We are back with another episode of the A9 Cast. Oh, what I'm about to say, what is that in the background? Orange juice. The A9 Cast. Today we got a lot to talk about. A couple of things I have written down in my notes, and then a couple of things just like happened. You understand what I'm saying? So where it's just like, okay, I guess I got to talk about that now. So first off, I want to start off just real quick. Shout out to Kendrick. Shout out to Beyonce. Shout out to Doechii. Shout out to Rap City. The art and culture wins in the end. You understand what I'm saying? Beyonce has been having her trials and tribulations with her dropping a country album, not being accepted, not being celebrated by the countryside. You understand what I'm saying? She's also had her issues with the Grammys, never winning album of the year. You know what I'm saying? Even though she's dropped some very impactful projects. You understand what I'm saying? Lemonade, is it called the Beyonce album? Sasha Fierce. Like she has some projects that I remember coming up. I may not have listened to, even though I listen to Lemonade, I listen to Beyonce, whatever like that. But Beyonce has been one of the biggest names in music for about 20 years, a long time. Since Destiny's Child, after Destiny's Child, Beyonce. When you talking about some of the biggest and greatest artists to ever live, Beyonce is maybe top 10. You understand what I'm saying? So for her to never have won album of the year, it seems to not make any sense. You understand what I'm saying? You would think she's at least gotten one. She never got any. So for her to win album of the year, country album of the year, shout outs to Beyonce. Shout outs to Doechii. Doechii dropped a dope project last year. It was a mixture of R&B and hip hop, but she won best rap album. I feel like that kind of puts Doechii's project in the same conversation as Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is looked at as one of the best or one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time, but you can argue that it was an R&B album that just had raps on it. And I think you could kind of say about like Doechii's was like half rap, half R&B. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's going to be in that conversation. But that's a big one for him. I mean, for her, I feel like that's well deserved. Kendrick won, I want to say best record of the year, song of the year, best rap performance, best music video, and something else. Which means that's it's 5 Grammys for Kendrick, but that's also 5 Grammys for DJ Mustard, I believe. You understand what I'm saying? So that's just an incredible thing. If he wouldn't have won, I feel like it would have just been, you would have just been like, what? Because yeah, they were. I don't even want to say, there were bigger songs. What was a bigger song overall throughout 2024 than Not Like Us? You could try and say a Post Malone. You could try and say that these pop acts, but I don't think there was not a song that not only impacted hip hop culture, but impacted the world like Not Like Us. I remember waking up. I took a nap. I was asleep. I woke up and everybody was like, Kendrick drop. Everybody, my phone was blowing up when Not Like Us dropped. I listened to it. I'm like, what is this? You understand what I'm saying? So, just the impact of that record, there was not a song last year that had that feel. Maybe Meet the Grams. Meet the Grams was kind of like, all right, damn, what the fuck? Kendrick just dropped, what the fuck? But when he dropped again, it felt like the whole world just shifted instantly when that song dropped. There was not a song that dropped last year that had that impact. You understand what I'm saying? People are trying to. It has to be not only one of the best diss tracks of all time, not greatest diss tracks of all time, but this puts it as one of the greatest hip hop songs ever at this point. 5 Grammys for the one song, ended the beef. Basically, it changed the entire perspective of one of the biggest artists in hip hop history, in Drake. It's changed the whole perspective. The people that didn't like Drake or saw through the smoke and mirrors on Drake, because some people like to just say, oh, you hate Drake. No, there are smoke and mirrors that exist around him that some people can see past, and those people are like, hey, we've been telling y'all this for years, but those people that already look past the smoke and the mirrors, their voices are a little bit more credible now, because a lot of times a lot of people were just saying, oh, you're a hater and you're just jealous of success, even though I said from the beginning, some people just don't fall for the bullshit. And people just don't understand that. People just can't perceive the concept of, we see past the machine, we see past the smoke and the mirrors, we see past all this stuff, and we see what's actually going on, and we don't like it because it negatively affects the culture that we love. It negatively affects the music industry that we love. You understand? Or the music that we love. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm gonna talk further about Drake and get into my bag on that situation later on. Shout out to Kendrick, shout out to Doechii, shout out to Rhapsody, who finally got her first Grammy after pushing for that for a long time. She was like, I seen a little clip where she was basically saying, I want to be able to win a Grammy without veering away from what I really want to do, because I know that it's possible for me to make the music I want to make, be the artist I want to be, and win a Grammy. I know it is. You can't tell me otherwise. And she finally made it. So shout out to all of them. You understand what I'm saying? It was a big night for art and culture, but it was a big night for Black women. Big night for Black women. I feel Black women have been amazing for the past couple years when it comes to music. They've been holding it down on multiple fronts when it comes to this music, and they finally got, I feel like this was their crowning moment to be like, all right, y'all put in this work and y'all deserve to be recognized. You know what I'm saying? Beyonce is Beyonce, but Rhapsody and Doechii are you know what I'm saying, kind of underspoken. Doechii's gotten a little bit more spoken of, whether positively or negatively, in the past couple of months. But to see Black women be celebrated and it not be what's the word? Not be the watered down sexualized version of Black women being celebrated. Black women are being celebrated for being great artists, for making great music, for actually having talent and putting in hard work. They're being celebrated for that, and not just for twerking on stage and shaking their ass and just talking about, you know what I'm saying? Now, Doechii's subject matter is her subject matter, but the fact that she's actually talented and she's an actual artist, you know what I'm saying? She actually cares about the art of the music. To see them be celebrated for that, it just means a lot, especially these past couple of years where all we've been getting shown is ratchetness and twerking and ass shaking or whatever like that. That don't win you Grammys. That only gets you attention from the people that don't matter at the end of the day. You understand what I'm saying? And not saying that the Grammys, the people that run the Grammys matter, but I'm saying as far as like, that is only short-term attention. And that's not real art. There's no real art in, I'm going to just rap about nonsense, but shake my ass to get the attention for it. You know what I'm saying? That's just, I don't like that. Joe Budden talked about this weeks ago. We don't like that. This is how you market to us. You market to Black people by pushing forward women that are being super promiscuous, over sexualized, this and that. And then when you want to appeal to the other audience, you strip them down and you make them more palatable. You make them more, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird how they want to market these women to us and make us further look at certain women in a certain way. And I'm going to have that discussion later on also in this episode about the business of misogyny and how they use that to not only further these ideas of misogyny, but also to keep the divide in how we look at certain women compared to other women. You understand what I'm saying? But let's get into what I have notes on. Oh no, before we get into that, this is going to be a longer episode than I want to say my previous episode, so I'm going to probably get a lot of clips of this. But Daylight just dropped. Now, I just listened to this, but I want to listen to it again. He dropped last night, but my partner just sent it to me, so I'm going to listen to it again. We're going to react to it, give my thoughts, break down certain lyrics or whatever like that. I don't even know YHRR. I don't know what it stands for, but we're gonna listen back to this, break it down. I say what I have to say about Sorry Not Sorry. I made my response to Sorry Not Sorry. I made a Hayu remix up on the channel, but also available in my store, KingA9Music.shop, the home for all King A9 music in 2025. You understand what I'm saying? If you want to keep supporting, if you want to listen to some new King A9 music, you got to go to my store, or it'll be available here on my YouTube. Either way, you understand what I'm saying? I feel like both are beneficial platforms for me. I can gain more subscribers, get more ears through on my YouTube, and it's easier for me to listen to my own music through my YouTube music, and also have my own website where, you know, if you want to pay and you want support, you can I have a tip jar on the website too. So if a song's 50 cents, but you're like, no, I want to give him $10 for his artistry, you can pay $10.50 for a song versus just 50 cents. Or if you just want to give me $1, $1.50 for one. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can pay whatever you want, but the minimum is 50 cents for the song. You understand what I'm saying? But let's listen to this. Daylight, YHRR.
Tonight, Daylight versus. What's poppin', my nigga? You back again, my G?
Had Eminem, saw Royce, Joe, basically most of Slaughterhouse. Once again, the backdrop of New York. Him using New York. He's a West Coast artist, but he's constantly shot these videos in New York showing like, hey, I'm cool down here. This is where I'm from. Not this is where I'm from, but I'm good down here. You doing all that talk, all that blah, blah. I'm good down here.
Yeah. Mama said you was too nice. And I replied, that's the way I write, mama. They took it to the net with it. And now it's on site, mama.
I kind of use this for a little bit in my How You remix. But this, I'm going to slow it down for you type of flow that he does, where it's just like, it kind of reminds me of Nipsey. Nipsey's flow, where it's more conversational. But he does it with bars. They want to go on the net with it. I said it's on site, mama. Like on site, like as soon as I see you, it's on site, but also to the net on site, it's on the website. Crazy.
And I replied, that's the way I write, mama. They took it to the net with it. And now it's on site, mama. Take a look at how I'm still being polite, mama. I do this cause I know it ain't no fight, mama. I know these little niggas really need training. What's at the end of the tunnel? Oh, it's light, mama. Still couldn't see me on the
train in what's in the end of the tunnel was light at the end of the tunnel, but also a train goes in a tunnel.
best day. Do the shit on wax, it be the best way, be the best way. Finger twisted, stomping with my squad boy, We'll break bones if you try X-ray.
We'll break bones if you try to X-ray. Because he's saying, we'll break bones if you try X-ray, you X-ray if you broken bones. But also he's saying, if you're trying to mark out Rayvon, we'll break bones. We could get physical with it if that's what you're trying to do. We could not really get physical with it, but at the end of the video, he talks about how these are just raps and we doing this for the sport. There is no real violence. Our weapon is our words, not actual weapons, which I love that he put that at the end. Another fire bar. I want to say, I told this to my partner earlier, almost everybody that responded to Joey out-rapped Joey, including me. How You remix. You understand what I'm saying? I every time I listen to it, I'm like, damn, I cooked that boy up. I'm not going to lie to you. I was just going. I had some,
No game. We don't need the gas, but get the propane. When we thinking fly, we thinking spirits. Send your little man out there, shit is so lame. All we get is typing in these comment sections. Instant feeders, get back to the ramen sections. Oh, you know what I do, nigga, I'm gonna get back to the ramen section. It's your birthday, they had a party for you on your birthday. Look at what you started on because your birthday.
He dropped Sorry Not Sorry on his birthday. This is a flip on 50 Cent, who is a New York artist.
Nigga, we don't give a fuck about your birthday. My focus free. This how it's supposed to be. Love for anybody who ain't close to me. That's who was he, and now watching the best who does this. Jealousy. I became what you could never be, the nicest. And why you niggas cherish me? There's no compare me to none of y'all. One of y'all say my name and I get the son of y'all for daring me. Apparently, lying from you niggas sound dumb.
One of y'all say my name, I get to son of y'all for daring me. His name is Daylight. Daylight is the sun, but also I'm gonna be sunning y'all. So if you say my name, if you say Daylight, the sun, but also sunning, that's.
Niggas cherish me. There's no compare me to none of y'all. One of y'all say my name and I get the son of y'all for daring me. Apparently, lying from you niggas sound dumb.
Apparently, you niggas sound dumb. Cause he said, what he said, I'm better than Joey Badass said, I'm line for line, I'm better than all of y'all, whatever he said, which was a crazy line. Because, like I said on the last one, it was cool. as a song, Rulers Back and sorry, not sorry, were good as songs, but when you be talking about you sparring with other lyricists, you got ate up. That's why I said on high you, them dogs ate you up. You more like a Scooby snack. You said the Rulers Back, them dogs ate you up. You more like a Scooby snack. Like that's why I said that, because they were just like, bro, you getting cooked by everybody. You getting ate up by everybody, bro. But you saying line for line, I'm better than everybody. It's just like we all rapping and you ain't showing up like everybody else.
One of y'all say my name and I get the son of y'all for daring me. Apparently, love you niggas sound dumb. One of my lines, your whole album up the spacey go. We sure with infinity nines on my side to go to ratio. Made 200 mil before I had a deal. Over 20K email list, that's my still. My hustle on infinity boulder. Make it count like a serial code. You niggas eat your cereal code. Simple spoon niggas gon' feel your doom. Fine doom. Figure I'm fine tuned but never drawn. My mind boom with every simile. You kidding me? This could be a no-fly zone literally. But my God cool. It's kinda cold on that side too. I bought you like a high shoe. High you. I know it's been an issue with my side shooters. Side shooters. Past beef led to some odd futures.
Past beef led to some odd futures.
Supposed to be love for anybody who ain't close to me. Left to who was he and now watching the best who does this. I'm dead. They had a party for you on your birthday. Look at what you started all because your birthday. My nigga, we don't give a fuck about your
One thing I like to do when I'm writing, and the thing is with certain writers, we don't try to do this. I wouldn't say we don't try. We do try. But certain flows, certain pockets, certain words, certain ways you say certain things just perfectly fit into each other to where you wind up just going crazy on a rhyme scheme and you wasn't even trying. Maybe you was like, okay, I'm going to pick this. And then you just put a sentence together and all of a sudden it's just this crazy thing. So what he was doing was this type thing. And even though I'm pretty sure he tried to, look, I wound up doing it. Tried to do that. Sometimes certain syllables and certain are just natural things that just happen to happen when you just in your bag. And he was going crazy with that just now. That hi you like a high chew like.
with every cereal code. You niggas eat your cereal code. Simple spoon niggas gon' feel your doom. Fine doom. Figure I'm fine tuned but never drawn. My mind boom with every simile. You kidding me? This could be a no-fly zone literally. But my God cool. It's kinda cold on that side.
And then he had, and in between these he had simile, in the E, fly zone, like he's playing with different rhymes in this rhyme scheme. He started it, then he seemed like he stopped it, went to another one, and it came back around. That's rhyme schemes I love doing, or I love hearing, is when you, all right, I'm gonna give you this, move on. Nope, I'm back. The extended, it's like an extended line where you go past the bar. So you get 2 bars to do a line. Usually it's a line per bar. But what some people do, I think it's called run over. I forgot what it's called, but where, all right, instead of me ending the line, I do this sometimes. Ending the line on the bar, I go over the bar and end the line on the second. You know what I'm saying? And then when you put the internals in with it, oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
But never drawn. My mind boom with every simile. You kidding me? This could be a no-fly zone literally. But my God cool. It's kinda cold on that side too. I bought you like a high chew.
Box you like a high chew.
I know it's been an issue.
So like box you isn't a direct. I think they call it. I be watching Mickey Facts. I think that's called shadow boxing. No. No, I forgot what it's called. Where it's not a direct rhyme. It's a slant rhyme, but it's supposed to match what's around the rhyme, but not directly. But it sounds like it does. So he said like hi chew, hi you, box. Like he said, box you, box. Don't rhyme with I, but it has the I think that is shadow boxing, but it has a similar sound to where it can fit into the rhyme scheme. Beautiful.
But never drawn. My mind boom with every simile. You kidding me? This could watch you like a hot shoe, high you. I know it's been an issue with my side shooters. Past beef led to some odd futures. Yeah. My focus free. This how it's supposed to be.
High level rapping right there. High level rapping. Punches, internals, externals, runovers.
We don't give a fuck about your birthday. The feeling's still eerie. They was right, you wanna be those niggas. I hope you hear me clearly, no editing. I'm just a West Side gunner, the flow credited with the cons and the pros. And your settlement, your pedal shit.
Playing with Griselda, Buffalo, West Side Gun, Conway. Oh, they say going at Ken, you a Barbie doll? Is it? You mad at Ken? You a Barbie doll, mad at Kendrick, Barbie doll, plastic bitch. I don't know. Something like that. Lord Jamal. Oh, he's going crazy. I'm cooking in Brooklyn, but who's the best eye? Sounds like Bed-Stuy, which is in Brooklyn. Oh my God, that's crazy. Kid and Play get a box off top. He going crazy. Kid and Play, Kid had the box flat top. He's cooking. I made it out from what nothing was promised. Shot my own videos, cut my own shit. I made my own beat. Golly, I get loose and prove our body a producer too. I'm two for two with nothing to prove. You niggas think it's about views. I ain't made an album in 8 years and 7 of them I've been on a cruise making billionaire moves at the top line in full. We about to have a party, and you was at the party. Oh, let me cook the apron, it's madness. You should. What he said? He said, we about to party, and you was at the party, or something like that? Oh, and you was at the party,
Oh, let me cook the apron, it's madness. You scrimmage, we gon' break through your practice, shit gon' get real. I wanna apologize for big, but that's some shit that y'all mess did. They let the lie out. The apron is madness. You scrimmage, we gon' break through your practice, shit gon' get real. I wanna apologize for big, but that's some shit that y'all mess did. They let the lie out. Nothing I should.
I would apologize for big, but that's some shit that y'all side did. I let them messed out. He's speaking facts because the talk is that the West Coast don't get as much reverence and love and whatever like that because people still eerie or people still feel the way about what happened with Tupac and Biggie. But if you go through the rabbit hole, it was Diddy, a New York person, who put the hit out on Pac. All right. Of course, it was a West person that did it, but it was a New York person that set up Pac getting killed. And then it was also Diddy that sent Biggie over to the West Coast, knowing the tension was heavy with Diddy and the West Coast because of what happened to Pac. So you kind of got to trace it back to New York. The issue that y'all are upset about was y'all fault, but y'all taking it out on us as if we're the problem. You understand what I'm saying? So I get what he's saying. Like we sorry for what happened to Biggie, but if it wasn't for y'all, it wouldn't have gotten that far, which is facts. And that's kind of what a lot of people have been saying. They're like this new East Coast, West Coast thing and how, you know, people don't like the West Coast. And a lot of people are hold resentment towards the West Coast because of Tupac and Biggie. They like to point fingers at the West Coast when it's damn near a fact at this point that it was Diddy behind both. Potentially Diddy behind both. You know what I'm saying? That Diddy knew that people was after him, and he set it up to where Biggie took the fall, and then Puff, basically, he had Biggie take the fall, and Puff basically, what's the word? Exploited Biggie's death to take himself to the next level. He instantly dropped a little song, dropped the whole project, made the song, song. What's the name of the fucking song? I can't think of the name of the song, but the song it was on Rush Hour and all stuff like that. That was a dedication to Biggie and all stuff like that. And people started, you know what I'm saying? Like, he used Biggie's death to make himself bigger. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know where we left off. I fucked up.
You niggas think it's about views. I ain't made an album at the party, scraping and scrambling. Oh, let me cook the apron, it's madness. You scrimmage, we gon' break through your practice, shit gon' get real. I wanna apologize for big, but that's some shit that y'all mess did. They let the lie out. Nothing I should be shy about. Wasn't you at the honeycomb hideout? I'm dead.
That look like. Was you at the honeycomb hideout?
Love anybody who ain't close to me. Left to who wasn't here now, watching the best who does this. I'm dead.
He cooked Joey. Joey got to step it up. All that, I'm divine and all the rhymes combined, and I'm about to shine, and I like the rhyme. All that shit is not going to work, bro. You got to do better. You got to come, because real lyricists is really rapping, and because like I said, one second. Hold up. Pal. Like I said, it was good as far as a song. That Sorry Not Sorry was good, but when you talking about talking to other lyricists, you can't be, I'm all the stars combined, and I am the divine, and my light wanna shine. Like, that's cool, but that ain't enough, bro. That is not enough. You got to do better than that, man. You really do. But that was dope. Daylight went crazy. Daylight is not playing around. I don't even know why you playing around like Daylight was playing around. You understand what I'm saying? But dope. Go check it out. YHRR by Daylight. The rappers is rapping, man. Including me. You know what I'm saying? I'll be back in a few weeks. I ain't gonna be messing with all that, but I got a song I'm working on to come out in a few weeks on my story and on my YouTube. So I hope y'all check it out. But all right, let's get into the next subject. Hip hop is a young man's sport, is a trick. Now, I was thinking about this a few days ago, where people like to say, there's a lot of people. I saw a video where a dude was talking about, where he was like, hey, if you 30 plus and you a rapper, I'm gonna have to tell you something, bro. Keep going. Keep going. You got this. You don't let nobody tell you down. I fuck with that, because there is this stigma of tearing down people that are older and that want to be a rapper or that are a rapper, whatever like that. First of all, and I think I talked about this before, we gotta stop treating rappers like they're not musicians. You understand what I'm saying? And I've had this talk with one of my friends before, where he says certain things where he'll be like, yeah, but that's trying to be an artist, that's trying to be a musician, and rappers is not. Like, no, we are musicians. We just made a sport out of music. You understand what I'm saying? And even that rap is a sport thing, like, I agree, but sometimes I feel like it's unnecessary to say, because I feel like you are putting rappers in a gladiator category versus putting them with real musicians. That's why I always say rap can be a sport, but it doesn't have to be a sport. And the only reason why I'm saying that is just because if a person doesn't want to engage in rap battle, somebody just wants to make great rap music, tell great stories, you understand what I'm saying? Paint pictures and inspire and do certain things, they should be able to do that without being told, you got to battle somebody. Rap is a sport. I feel like if somebody just wants to make rap music, you know what I'm saying? Then I feel like they should be able to do that without being told, this is a sport, you gotta spar, you gotta, because I look at that as like trying to put the gladiators together and just have everybody watching for their entertainment, and you not knowing the effects of taking rap as a sport and this and that. Like I don't like the idea of a black art form being used as a form of entertainment for the wider audience. You understand what I'm saying? I don't agree with that all the time. Like if you want to be in that field, if you want to battle rappers and you want to do this and that and take it as a sport, you can do that. But I don't feel like you should hold every single rapper to that because I feel like it's it's the gladiator shit where we don't get taken serious, and it goes back to my original point. They don't take us seriously as musicians. They don't take us seriously as artists because they want to hold us to this gladiator spar. You're supposed to battle each other. You're supposed to have conflict, and I don't think that's right. But with that also comes the hip hop is a young man's sport or is a young man's game trick. And the reason why I say it's a trick is because first of all, this goes back to it's a label thing. When we talking about hip hop, and I watched a video about this earlier talking about how like people want to talk about the gentrification of hip hop and the commercialization and the capitalism of hip hop as if it's a new thing. Hip hop has been it was FD Signifier, of course. Hip hop has been infiltrated. Hip hop has been gentrified. Hip hop has been a form of capitalism and corporate greed from the very beginning. Hip hop. FD Signifier basically said when Run DMC signed that deal with Adidas, it was over for hip hop after that. You understand what I'm saying? Because we were told this is what hip hop is. This is what real hip hop is. But we're being told what real hip hop is in an era where hip hop is being corporatized and commercialized. And we're saying, yeah, NWA is real hip hop, even though they're not real gangsters. You know what I'm saying? They're regular dudes making gangster rap, but they're not real gangsters. They're just telling stories of what they see, which, yes, that is real hip hop, but they're being commercialized and marketed as this, you know what I'm saying, against the norm, But who says that is real hip hop? Exploiting the struggles of the black struggle, the black traumas, black crime, the gangster lifestyle, exploiting that for commercial success. Is that real hip hop? You understand what I'm saying? When you fully think about it. So now this hip hop is a young man's sport. I feel goes into when you're young, you're easily manipulated. You're easily influenced. You're easily able to sign bad deals because you don't know this and you don't know that. And this is something I feel they push towards artists or push towards the audience, where it's just like, oh, you're too old to be rapping or whatever like that, because you're less likely to fall for business tricks. You're less likely to sign bad deals. You're less likely to become a victim, you know what I'm saying, and to be used and milk dry. You have less energy to do what a lot of these labels want their young artists to do. Like when we talk about a Lil Pump, we talk about Lil Xan or whatever like that, where we're going to pick you up, we're going to push you and make you go do this and do that and do this and do that and do this and do that until you are not useful to us anymore, and then we throw you aside, and now you're miserable, you're broke, you're a bum at 24, 25 years old. You understand what I'm saying? And we done made all our money we can from you, so we don't care. Versus if you're like a Benny the Butcher, Conway, whatever like that, we had to get it out the mud multiple times, multiple ways. So there is no way that you can finesse us. We're too old. We're too smart. We're too aware. We watched the business coming up, and we seen what to do and what not to do. So we're less likely to fall for certain games and for certain tricks. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that's why they push that hip hop is a young man's game, because it's easier for them to to manipulate. You know, the music industry is a predatory industry. With it being a predatory industry, it's more beneficial for them to be predatory towards young people. You know what I'm saying? Take that how you will. Predatory towards young people and being able to manipulate them and get them to sign bad deals and give up their rights or whatever like that, because they don't know any better, versus somebody that may know better, that may be a little bit more on the up and up about not only the music business, but business in general. You understand what I'm saying? It's less likely for them to be able to get you like that. So I think that's why they push this hip hop as a young man's sport, this and that. Also, they want you to appeal to young people. So they feel the best way to appeal to young people is to be a young person. They want you to push a certain idea, certain agendas or whatever like that. So the less mature you are, the more immature you are, the more likely you're able to push immature ideas, immature content to the masses that they feel is a good representation of what hip hop is. You're more likely as a younger artist to be talking about taking drugs, cars, women, this and that, because that's the young man's lifestyle. versus if you're older, you are a little bit past the materialism and you may want to talk about other things that may not be as hip hop, even though it is as hip hop as the mainstream wants it to be. You understand what I'm saying? You may be on the Jay-Z time where you talking about investing, buying property, taking care of your people, doing this and that. That's not what they want to push. That goes into that video, the FD Signify video, where it was saying Kid and Play were a lot more positive, no drugs, whatever like that, and they were seen as the sellouts versus the ones that were pushing drugs and killing and all the stereotypes that people put against black people. They were not looking at, they were looking at as real hip hop, even though they were just perpetuating stereotypes and perpetuating ideas of what being black is, versus these guys that were saying, hey, we're clean cut. This being black is more than just guns, violence, drugs, bitches, and hoes. It's having fun. We have fun. We do things other than that. That's what I'm saying? And it's weird how one is considered real hip hop and the other isn't. You know what I'm saying? And of course that's done by us, but we're only programmed to do that by them. You understand what I'm saying? So I think it all just goes in together why you know, some of the biggest rappers in the past 10 years have all been under 30 years old. Even before that, I think the oldest rapper that kind of took off at or reached that peak might have been Jay-Z. I think Reason Without dropping, Jay-Z was like in his late 20s, which is still young, but compared to other rappers, it's, you know what I'm saying, Nas's first out, Illmatic, was like, he was what, 18, 19? A lot of rappers kind of got their big break late 80s, late teens, early 20s. Tupac and Biggie died at 24. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say Eminem came out 90. Eminem was kind of older when he came out. Eminem came out in 98, 99. So he was about 26, 27. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, if you go down the list of just Snoop Dogg was really young when he came out. Snoop Dogg, Dogg Style came out what, 91? Snoop Dogg he had to been in his late teens, early 20s. You understand what I'm saying? It's a pattern of hip hop targeting or labels targeting younger artists. Even NWA were fresh out of high school or whatever like that when they started taking off, versus artists being a lot older. They're not looked at as cool or hip or whatever like that, which is why when some certain artists get older, they still trying to make young music because they don't want to be looked at as old or washed up or whatever like that. But time has shown that mature, older artists can be just as, if not more successful than the younger artists. When you think about the biggest albums last year, Eminem, and he's 50. Death of Slim Shady was one of the highest selling rap albums last year. Tyler Creator might be 30 or 30 plus. He had dropped one of the biggest albums last year. Kendrick's almost 40. He dropped the biggest song last year, just got a Grammy for it. J. Cole, he's almost 40 years old. Like a lot older artists, Redman, Snoop Dogg, I'm trying to think, LL Cool J. Like these are albums, they may not have been the biggest, but they moved certain things. They moved certain cultures, and it's just from older people. I'm trying to think the youngest rap I might have listened to last year. Did Gunna drop last year? 101, did that drop last year? Lil Baby dropped, and people was all excited. Oh, it's going to go #1 and this and that. And I still haven't heard a single. I listened to the project, actually. I listened to the project, but I don't remember a single song off the project. Beforehand, I didn't hear a single song off the project. The LiAngelo Ball song kind of squashed that out. That was labels pushing and trying to flip the narrative of, oh, Lil Baby fell off. But Lil Baby, 2019 COVID, you could not escape a Lil Baby song. I was there. Lil Baby at its peak, you couldn't escape his songs. You was going to hear Lil Baby anywhere and everywhere at all times. You just could not escape it. Now, I listened to the Lil Baby project one time, found the songs I like, haven't listened to them since, but outside of that, I haven't heard them anywhere. Nobody's playing it outside their car. Nobody's playing them at work. You understand what I'm saying? It's just different. It's a different feel. You can really tell when somebody is organically really popular, really got something going, and when it's just the industry games. You understand what I'm saying? And Lil Baby's getting older. That goes into, like I said, the young man thing. When these young artists start getting older, they become less priority for their labels. Lil Baby's getting older. his music, his content hasn't really changed much, but he's getting older. Even in the conversation interview we had, he's basically saying, "Yeah, I'm getting older. I don't I can't talk about." Even though his reasoning for not wanting to talk about stuff he used to talk about is the law be listening and they giving out RICOs, they doing this and that. If he worked on maturity and stuff like that, he would be in the same boat of being like, okay, I'm getting older now. I can't talk about what I used to talk about because I'm older and I have bigger things and things to talk about. It's crazy that Lil Baby's most mature song came when he was younger. The it's bigger than black and white. Like that song. That's probably one of Lil Baby's not only biggest songs, if not his biggest song, but also his most mature progressive song. And he has never went there again. And I think that kind of speaks to the whole Lil Baby thing where it's just like, okay, you got big, you got popular from this. You was popular before that for doing what you was doing, but your biggest song was this. And you decide, I'm not doing that no more. And now people are kind of looking at you like, hey, we want something else from you. Because, hey, talk about a little deeper about some of these things. We don't want to keep hearing about money, cars, clothes, and hoes, and you know what I'm saying? When you're getting older, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just feel like it's a trick to just kind of not only manipulate young artists, but also to get more younger people to want to come into hip hop at a younger age, and then when they get older, kind of fall off. And when they look at it as corny, as weird. Music is music. Nobody says nothing about Taylor Swift being almost 40 years old, or however old she is, and still being a singer, still being an artist. When there's nobody says nothing about your local jazz musician. Oh, you still doing jazz? You too old for that. Like, no, nobody says nothing about your local vocalist, singer, or whatever like that. But it's when a person wants to be a rapper and they're 30 plus that they get criticism and looked at as like, oh, that's childish. Why is being a rapper childish? Hip hop has been one of the most intellectually challenging genres of music ever, because it's not just saying words over a beat. It's having deeper conversations. You have to have rhythm. You have to have some type of musical gift to be good at rapping. You have to understand what a beat is, what rhythm is, being on a 2 or being on a 3 or wherever you want to be at. Riding the metronome is not easy. They try and make it easy by making the most watered down, commercialized, gentrified version of it. But if you want to be actually a good rapper, it takes time. It's a skill. You can't just up and do it. Just like being a singer, you can't just wake up and be a good singer. You have to put in time and work on being a singer to be a good singer. Same as being good at playing the piano. You have to put in time. I've recently got into producing and making my own beats. I've had to put in the past 365 days. I've made so many beats. I've put in a lot of time and effort and learning how to make beats and putting things together, getting loops and flipping them and doing this and that. I've had to learn how to do that. These things are not easy to do. So to just say, oh, you a little boy for wanting to be a rapper or whatever like that, we don't hold that same standard to no one else unless they're successful. Once they become successful, then they kind of push it out the way, but still trying to say, oh, you're too old. But if you're a local artist and you're still trying to make rap music, people look at you crazy. And it's just like, come on, bro. We need older voices in hip hop to be able to inform the youth and keep them on edge. If at a certain age, if as soon as you turn 30, you stop rapping, you stop making music, then your influence and your impact and your way to shape the future and make sure the people younger than you don't make the same mistakes as the people before you or the people during your time, then hip hop would be in a way, way, way worse place than it is right now. If we were to just be like, okay, this is the cutoff age and you should not rap, you should have no type of interest in hip hop and the future of hip hop once you get to this age. And I feel like, no, that's a wrong idea to have. But that's not my thought on that section. Now let's get into, this is an interesting thing. Let me see. I got to be able to get to these links. Okay, let me see if it'll let me do it. Boom. Look up. I want to be able to pull this link up. But, okay, let's go. We're going to copy it and paste it. Copy. Paste. Bow. All right, boom. Copy. Paste. Bow. because this is just me proving a point that people, you know what I'm saying? The reason why I started the A9 cast, well, one of the reasons why I brought the A9 cast back is because not only was I just like, okay, I need to, make my voice heard at this point because there's way too much, you know what I'm saying? Need contrarian voices, need more people to just kind of speak up, give their own thoughts and opinions that are actually like, a little bit more engaged into, because a lot of people that are making content about hip hop or whatever like that, they're always coming from the fan perspective. Majority of them come from the fan perspective. When you think of the bigger people that talk about hip hop on a regular, it's as a fan. I feel like we need and usually I won't say casual fan, but yeah, maybe as a fan. Most of them are just fans of hip hop. We don't have as many voices of people that are actually intertwined, not only in hip hop, not only as fans, but as creators of hip hop. I don't feel like we have enough voices of people that actually make actual music, actually make hip hop. You know what I'm saying? People that are in a little bit more in tune with certain conversations. A lot of what the fans talk about is through the lens of, this is what's said, this is whatever like that, this is the talk on the internet. But then there's people that not only are in hip hop, but have these discussions, watching these interviews and talk to these people that kind of can be like, hey, yeah, that's real. You understand what I'm saying? So when last year when I was talking about Spotify and how they're the playlists and the curators and this and that, a lot of people, especially the fans of hip hop, were kind of like, hey, it ain't that big of a deal. Hey, at least y'all getting paid. Hey, this and that. Not understanding as artists that you're devaluing the music when you're selling a subscription for $10, but only paying artists less than a penny. Most people subscribe to these platforms because, oh, my favorite artist's music is there. I want to listen to them. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people subscribe to or have a YouTube Music to listen to their favorite artist, or Spotify to listen to their favorite artist. So for your favorite artist to be the reason why you're on the platform, but for them to make the least amount from the platform, it's crazy. So when I go on my platforms talking about it, and people are saying, oh, y'all always complaining, y'all should make better music, y'all should do this and that, and maybe you'll make more money. That's not how it works. You understand what I'm saying? That's not how it works. Imagine you work your job. Your job's paying you $725, and you say, hey, this business is a multi-billion-dollar business, but I'm only making $725. That doesn't make sense. I feel like I should make more money because of my contributions to why this business is successful. And the customers come to you and be like, hey, at least you get paid. What? that is illogical. You wouldn't want a customer to tell you, hey, at least you're making money. The customer might make more money off of their job than you do, and they're only coming there because of the work you put in. You are the reason why I'm the reason why you're on this platform, but you're telling me, hey, I should be thankful for getting anything, while the company that does nothing but exploits us makes all the money. It doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. It's dumb logic. You understand what I'm saying? It's the same argument when waitresses say, hey, I make $2.15 an hour, and you know how important tips are to us because this is how we really make our money. And for people to comment and be like, hey, at least you get paid. Hey, you make more. You can potentially make more than me at work. So what are you complaining about? Hey, you have to do better service and maybe you would get better tips. No, there are some people that actually do good service as waiters, and because people do not respect servers, people do not respect waitresses, they feel like, oh, you're just doing your job, I shouldn't have to pay you any more than I want to for you just doing your job. And that's not fair. You understand what I'm saying? That's not a fair perspective to have in that situation, because you wouldn't want somebody doing that or saying that to you, right? And that's how people try and treat artists of, hey, you're an artist, you decided to be an artist, you decided to do this and that, so if you get less than a penny, that's your fault. Nobody should be paying you more for you doing the job that you signed up for. Are you serious? That's stupid. That's stupid. if you really love music, if you really care about music, if somebody's really your favorite artist, then you should want them to succeed and be in the best predicament to make the best music that they can. This goes into a few weeks ago, and I'm gonna get into the subject matter, but this is a little side rant, tangent of the week. This goes to a few weeks ago when Eminem Leaks came out. I never listened to him. I don't know nothing about none of the songs on Eminem Leaks. I've never been a fan of listening to leak music as an artist because this is music that the artist did not want out. This is the music that the artist will not make $1 off of. You as a fan can't be like, hey, as long as at least you fed us. Hey, at least you gave us something. So it doesn't matter whether you got paid or not. You're already rich. Who cares? That's basically their mindset is you're already rich. Who cares as long as we got what we wanted? That is a very self-fulfilling mindset. If somebody is your favorite artist, we know Eminem is one of my favorite rappers of all time. I want Eminem to get to drop more music, especially good music, amazing raps. I want Eminem to drop more good music, but I also want Eminem to be able to make money off of his music because you put in work, studio time. And this is the thing that fans don't understand. And this is why they have this perspective, because they don't understand it. But instead of being like, okay, I don't understand what it takes to make music, I think it just comes out of thin air and we just get it. Recording a song, even as a person that records in my own room, the software and some of the plugins cost money. Or buying the beat costs money. Paying the producer costs money. Upload, like, it's not free. It's cheaper now to make music, but it's not free to make music. We are spending money on studio time, beats, production, mixing and master engineers. We may want a sample. Got to pay for the sample. Or we may want an instrumentalist to make a flute or do whatever over this song to kind of add something to it. That costs money. You understand what I'm saying? Music in general takes up a lot of electricity, a lot of power. You have to pay your electric bill. That costs money. There's a lot of a huge cost to making music that we have to pay. So of course we're going to want to, if I'm giving you a song, want to make the money to at least make profit off of how much money we spent on making the music. Promo costs money. Uploading the song to your distributor, if you have a distributor, or if you're signed to a label or whatever like that, even though it's quick, even though it's faster than printing up CDs, it still costs money. You still got to pay your $69, $59, $49, however much you pay a year or a month for your subscription to the distributor. It costs money. So you would hope, if I'm paying this much, I want to make at least some money back. So to have this mindset of, hey, you're rich, you're famous. Yeah, I'm rich and famous, but I would like to make a little bit more money for my hard work. You understand what I'm saying? So that mindset is just crazy. So, and these are just perspectives that we don't have enough voices on, because a lot of people that want to talk about hip hop, talk about music, give their opinion on music, don't make music. So that's kind of why I brought it back. But anyways, goes into this. A year ago, before the 89 Cast came back, or whatever like that, around the time of the Drake and Kendrick beef, when everybody was having these discussions, and I was in a lot of conversations with people on Twitter or Instagram where people were trying to push this narrative of they're trying to diss Drake because he has all the hits and he's the biggest artist and they want to be just like him and this and that. And my rebuttal was always, you do realize a lot of artists don't make music to be a Drake. They don't make music to make a hit record. A lot of that is label stuff. The labels care about hit records. The labels care about Billboard placement. The labels care about these things that y'all are talking about. The individual artists don't care, and they're not going to get bitter and upset over that. Some might, but the common artist just makes music for the love of making music. So if you think people's issue with Drake was based off of, oh, he's been successful for too long and they want to just take him down, then you have a weird perspective on how artists actually think, artists actually move, and people's actual purpose of making music. I don't think Future has a lot of hits, a lot of hit records. So I don't think Future will be hating on somebody else for having a lot of hit records. Future, from everything I've seen and how he just works or whatever like that, Future is just loves making music. He loves supplying to his audience, supplying to his fans. A lot of artists just like feeding their fans, just like making music for their audience. Oh, this is something they're gonna fuck with. Boom. That's all they really make music for. Money and to just feed their fans. You understand what I'm saying? And the love of it. Now everyone wants to be number one on Billboard every 2 months. There's a lot that comes with that, and at the end of the day, that only matters to the label. A lot of artists, how their deals are set up, they don't make no extra money off of going number one on Billboard. They have to go on tour to make their real money. They have to sell merch to make their real money. And if they sign to a 360, the label's still eating off of that. That Billboard, hit records, all that stuff, that's to feed the label. So a lot of artists don't care about that. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of artists tax the label. Like, say you signed to Universal when I'm signed to Sony, and you want a feature from me. I'm going to tax you. I'm going to charge you extra for a feature because you signed to the label. They gave you that budget. They gave you the money. I'm going to charge them extra. But if it's artist to artist, if you're independent, I'm gonna charge you less because you getting it out the mud. You on your own. And I'm not trying to hate on you as an artist. I'm not trying to hold you down as an artist. But the label, we got to get them. We got to get them for everything. You understand what I'm saying? But anyways, while having those discussions, there was also a discussion about people's also rebuttal also kept being was what was it? They're jealous. Drake is the biggest artist in the world, and they want to do this and that, and they're trying to take him down. He's the big, and that's the thing I kept hearing. Drake's the biggest artist in the world. Drake's the biggest artist in the world. Drake's the biggest artist in the world. In my mind, just as an artist, as a person that kind of knows the metrics of what it takes to be the actual biggest artist in the world, you have to fit certain metrics. And I always kept questioning it and saying, how do we really know that Drake is the biggest artist in the world? Yeah, he's big to us here in America, but I don't see no evidence anywhere else that tells me, yeah, Drake is big everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? And I kept saying, why for someone to be the biggest artist in the world, he keeps going on American arena tours. The biggest artists in the world, a Taylor Swift, a Ed Sheeran, a Bad Bunny, a Weeknd, I think a Burna Boy. Those people in those biggest artists in the world conversations, even an Eminem, go on stadium tours worldwide. Drake, as popular as he has been in the past 10, 15 years, doesn't go on world tours and doesn't perform in stadiums. And so even Kendrick is about to go on a stadium tour. I don't think it's a world nationwide. I think it's a nationwide stadium tour, though. I think it's America and Canada. I don't think he's doing a worldwide. But I kept saying it. I was like, I'm going to go to the tweets. The first one. This was June 16, 2024. So this is after the battle. After it was all said and done. I said, I don't think there's a conspiracy to get rid of Drake at all because all these numbers are inflated. If they want you to disappear, they just can't. I think the bots just are outweighing the actual fans. You don't stream as high as Drake, yet only do American arena tours. Now, this goes into, it came out that the dates on Drake's tour in Australia, he announced that he was going on an Australian tour around the time of the Super Bowl. He don't want to be there. He don't want to see it. He want to be somewhere else. So he's going to be in Australia going on tour. News has come out that Drake has not been able to sell tickets to these shows in Australia, so that the dates have been pushed back. That says something. Australia isn't fiending for Drake like America is. I think if Drake, and I still don't know if Drake will be able to really sell tickets like that in America today. A few years ago, yeah. Last year, a few years ago when he was just on tour, yeah, of course. But I don't even know. It's shaky on Drake right now. So trying to go on a tour when it's shaky on you, when people aren't really rocking with you, is weird in general. But then to try and do that in a market that you have not been established in, you haven't really touched before, going to a new market, wow, everything's shaking, because Not Like Us is one of the biggest songs last year in the world, one of the biggest songs last year. So everybody's heard something about it. I was watching a video and a dude said he was talking about something, and he didn't say Drake. He said the dude from that Kendrick song. Like people know, some people know Drake from the Kendrick song, or they just refer to him as, oh yeah, that's the dude from the Kendrick song. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's shaky on you right now. So trying to go on a tour in general when you have no new material, you have no new music, no new popping music, I should say. It's weird. It's a weird thing to do anyways. But and this first tweet anyways goes into what I was saying about, it goes into the UMG lawsuit about how Drake knew all about the bots and the 30% licensing fee, and how they pushed it here and they pushed it there, and they have these coercions and able to do this with Spotify. Like, how do you know these things unless we did it for you? And UMG even said that, hey, we did this for you for a long time. We did everything we could to make sure that you were commercially and financially successful. So for you to sue us saying that we're trying to tear you down, we're trying to defame you is outrageous and illogical. Because why would we invest this much money in you just for you not to make them, not for just for it to tear you down? You understand what I'm saying? So I even touched on that. These numbers are inflated. Billboard hit records on Billboard are paid for. Songs on the radio are paid for. A lot of streams on Spotify are paid for. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's just how it works. So not only that, but you're only doing American arena tours. So how do I know you are the biggest artist in the world, one of the biggest artists in the world, if we're just basing it on numbers that are inflated, numbers that aren't real, that are consist of majority bots? You understand what I'm saying? And people try to argue. Let me see. And people try to argue me on those points, and they were like, "Oh, you sound crazy. You don't know what you're talking about." Somebody was trying to say Drake talked about why he don't do stadiums, and he said he wants it to be more intimate with his fans, and he wants everything to be close and this and that. And I'm just like, you do realize how incredibly stupid that sounds? Because if you're saying that, oh, Drake doesn't do stadium tours because he doesn't want, he wants to be more closer to his fans. First of all, that's fucking stupid, because you make more money on a stadium tour. Even though you spend more money on stadium tour, you make more money on stadium tour. And second of all, you saying that insinuates that a Beyonce doesn't care about the intimacy and being close with her fans. A Taylor Swift doesn't care about that. A Kendrick doesn't care. A Bad Bunny. These people that have loyal, diehard fan bases that are able to do stadium tours, you're insinuating that they don't care about their fans and that they're only doing it for money. That's a stupid assumption. And no, you just can't sell out a stadium, bro. You can't. Just all this, oh, I want to be more close to my fans, so I don't want to be like, come on, bro, fuck out of here. My next tweet that I did, this was April 12th, 2024. So this was before the beef took off. This was, I want to say, so far we got Like That, we got Might Delete Later. I think Might Delete Later dropped around that time. 7-Minute Drill dropped around that time. And Cole took it back. I don't think push-ups dropped yet. And I tweeted this. And if the streaming numbers, and I put it in parentheses, which are manipulated, say you're in that conversation, but ticket sales don't, that speaks volumes. If your label keeps sending you out on domestic arena tours like the small artists, then they're not confident you can pack stadiums domestic or internationally. I'm speaking to you as a person that has studied this. I've studied just how the industry works and how these labels work. And if they're confident that, yes, you can sell 60, 70,000 in America, they're going to want to make the most money because guess what? Think about it. Let's do the math. Let's do the math just so you can understand how this works. An arena, say arena said 17,000, which is great, which is amazing. 17,000. You're selling t-shirts, hoodies, whatever, $100 for a hoodie. If 17,000 people, we're not going to say everybody going to buy one. Let's say 10% buy a hoodie. 10%, 1.7 thousand people buy $100 hoodies at your arena tour. You made, what I say, 1.7, $100 hoodie. You made $17,000 off of hoodies, right? If my math is right, 170,000. Yeah, you made $170,000 in an arena tour off of 10% of that $17,000 arena buying $100 hoodies. Now, say you go on a stadium tour, 50,000. We're just gonna say 50,000 seater. 50,000. No. 60,000 people. Let's go to a calculator just so I can get my math right. 60,000 people. 10% of that 60,000, same exact math, 60,000 people, math. I said math, calculator, dumbass. 60,000 people, 10%, 6,000 people buy $100 hoodies. So we're going to do 6,000, which I already know the math, but times 100. You made $600,000. Would you rather make $170,000 off of hoodies or $600,000 off of hoodies? I'm sure you will want to make $600,000 off of hoodies, right? Right. Let's talk about concession. Let's say 50% of those 60,000, 30,000 people go and buy food. And you do a nice little deal where you get 10% off of food concession stands and all stuff like that. So let's say, so we had, I'm gonna write this down. I'm just trying to explain to y'all. This is just an in-depth breakdown of why it is more beneficial for you to go on stadium tour if you can sell a stadium out of stadium. So we already got, we're gonna go with the 60,000. All right, 170,000 right here. This is off the 17K, and then we got 60K. All right, so we already 170,000 off of merch. Come put M concession. So we got 600,000 off the exact same merch at the 60. So we're gonna do concession. All right, now 50% of, we're gonna say the average concession, because concession food be high. The average concession food is $20. We're gonna say $20. So we're gonna do 20, and we're gonna say 50% of that 17,000, which will be 8.5. So let's say 8. So let's say, boom, 20 times 8,500. Let's say 8,500 people get food at a concession, and you get 10% of the sales of food. So that's 170,000. Another 170,000. You get 10%, so you just made 17 grand. You just made 17,000 plus the 170,000 off the merch. So that's 17,000 off concessions in the arena. But in the stadium, exact same math. 50%. So you got 30,000. You got 30,000 people that bought 20. That's another 600,000. That spent $20 on there. That's 600,000. And you get 10%. You get 10% of that 600,000. So that's 60 grand. That's 60 grand. So over here, you made 60 grand off concession, 600 grand off a merch in the stadium. And okay, we did merch, we did concessions, and let's just say your flat fee for, because a lot of people get paid less on arena tours than they would do regular bookings. Like say you just doing show by show bookings, you may get 600,000, 500,000, 400,000, 300,000 for a show. But when you're on arena tour, you get paid less for a show just because it's a full event. You understand what I'm saying? So let's say your flat fee, we're gonna do 10% of. Let's say you get 50 grand on the show. So that's 50,000. We're just gonna say on both shows you getting 50,000. Flat fee. And this is for a show. Flat fee 50,000, both shows. Flat fee 50,000, both shows. Boom. And now your tour is 20 shows. You do a 20 show tour. 20 shows. 60,000. Oops, my bad. 20 shows. Now we already know the math is going to math. But I'm going to show you the big difference of why it will be way more beneficial to go on a stadium tour if you can sell out a stadium. And I'm just going. We're gonna pull some clips out of here, but I'm just going. So that one show, 600,000. Boom, 600,000 plus 60,000 plus 50,000 flat fee. $710,000. One show. That's around the amount that somebody would make, just doing a regular, if they're a popular artist doing a regular booking, they may make like doing show by show versus being on a tour. They might make, if you're popular, 500,000, 600,000, maybe $1 million, depending on the artist. You understand what I'm saying? So you making that one show. If you did your business right, you get all the merchandise. You get 100% merchandise sales, but you get maybe 10% of concession. You know what I'm saying? If you get a good deal like that, maybe the arena, maybe they want something else. But these are just averages. 710 on the first one. In the stadium, you make a 710,000 a show versus 170,000 plus 17,000 plus that exact same flat fee of 50,000, 237,000. So you're making about a third of the money already. About a third of the money doing an arena versus doing a stadium already just from one show. Now this is where it get crazy. Boom, we're gonna do that 710,000 a show. Just establish 660,000 is the cap. So this is if you're selling out every single stadium on a 20 stadium tour, and you're selling out every single arena on an arena tour, 20 dates. Boom. So we're doing 710,000 times 20. Let's see. That is, let me see, 14,000. 14 million. My bad. And $200,000 on tour. At a stadium. You know what I'm saying? And this is just doing averages and all stuff like that. Versus 237,000 a show times 20. You only make 4,740,000. So which one would you prefer? 4,740,000. If you could sell out a stadium, if you could for 100% guarantee without a fact, the label and everybody in the world is confident that you can sell out a stadium and you can sell an arena, which would you prefer? Would you prefer to go on a 20-day tour and make $14-15 million, or go on an arena tour and make $4 million? The math ain't mathing. I get the close intimacy, whatever like that. But guess what? You could do a meet and greet at a stadium tour. You can do a meet and greet. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just the logic the logic just doesn't make any sense. I just did that long breakdown, but we just kicking it right now. So like my running theme is, if you can sell out a stadium tour, if you can sell out a stadium, why not go on a stadium tour? Why have you never? And then not only that, why not go on a world? If you only confident in arenas, why not go on a worldwide arena tour? Right? Why only American arena tours back to back for years and years? He's been doing that. You understand what I'm saying? Yet you want me to believe that you're the biggest artist in the world. And this is my last tweet, and then we're gonna go on to the next topic. No one artists in the world don't do arena tours. Taylor Swift, The Weeknd, Bad Bunny are just a few artists that can claim that title. They've been packing stadiums worldwide for years. Facts. You understand what I'm saying? So this whole argument, I'm not surprised. That's my final thing. My final thing. As a person that just watches everything, sees how every artist moves, every artist that we say are big pop stars, big mega stars, they move in certain ways that I've never seen Drake move. And I'm not saying Drake isn't one of the biggest artists, but people talk as if he is the biggest artist behind Taylor Swift. And if we're basing this solely on streams, on 50% bodied streams, then yeah, he's big. But if we're talking about real life, off the internet, off the streaming services, putting butts in seats, that's where it matters most. I don't see it. You understand what I'm saying? I don't see it. And I never saw it. So this coming out saying Drake couldn't sell out in Australia and they have to push the dates back, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me. And some people are trying to flip it like, oh, Kendrick, he really hurt his career, and oh, we got to stop celebrating the downfall of Drake. That isn't cool. I never thought Drake could sell out an arena in Australia in the first place. I mean, sell out an Australian tour in the first place. I personally haven't. I don't think Drake can sell out crazy in Europe because he's never shown it. I'm not going to believe something that I've never seen, that you've never done. So for him to just be like, okay, I'm going on tour to Australia, which of course is pushed by Stake, but I think Stake, being Stake, they believe that it's Drake. He can sell out an Australian arena tour. That makes sense. Nope. Because just because you're big on the internet, because the numbers say you're big, even these Instagram followers, you understand what I'm saying? Instagram followers, majority of them are bots. The labels are buying your followers. The labels are buying your likes and buying your comments. That's how this game works. When you're signed to a label, they're going to do their best, especially if they want you to be a Drake level. There's going to be some finagling of the numbers to get you to look, because these labels bet on what's it called? I used to remember the name of it. Fuck. These labels bet on I can't think of the name of the strategy, but they bet on people wanting to be a part of what's popular. I can't think of the name of it right now. It's not FIFO. That's first in, first out. But it's people want to be attached to what's already popular. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of labels bet on, okay, if it looks like it's popular, people are going to follow. They bet on a lot of people being followers. So we're going to boost your numbers. We're going to boost your streams. We're going to boost your followers. We're going to boost your likes. And people are going to be like, wow, he's really got traction. I need to see what's going on. Fear of missing out or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like FOMO. Yeah, FOMO. Labels bet on FOMO from everybody when they invest in you. We're going to boost your streams. We're going to boost your followers. We're going to boost your likes. I've spoken to people that specialize. People that do this for the labels have spoken to me about this. That's their strategy. Yes, you have 10 million. You have an audience of a million people. A million people know who you are. A million people. You have a million monthly listeners. But when you sign to us, we can get you 10 million monthly listeners. You not thinking about it. Wow, really? How are y'all going to do that? Trust us. We got you. You sign that deal. Boom, boom, boom. All of a sudden, that 1 million monthly listeners turns to 2 million, turns to 4 million, turns to, you know what I'm saying? And 5 million of them 10 million listeners might be real monthly listeners, but the rest, they get paid for. They've been paid for. They've been programmed to stream your music, play your music while you're sleeping. You understand what I'm saying? That's just how it works. We can turn your 200,000 followers on Instagram to 1 million followers. Wow, really? Yes. That's what they do. So yeah, streaming data may say you are whatever they say you are. You're the highest streaming artist of all time. You're this and that, but you cannot mean that that's going to translate into being able to sell out an arena, sell out a stadium. You have to prove in a physical form that you can do that. And that can only be determined by actually going out and doing it, by selling arena tickets, selling this and that. Merchandise will really tell you too. If you just always going crazy with the merchandise, like you have to in some way interact with people in a way to where it's like, okay, the bots can't fuck this up. This is real people doing this. So I know I can do this. You understand what I'm saying? If you know for a fact that I have 100,000 people in Atlanta that buy my merch, you understand what I'm saying? That buy 100,000 people buy my merch. 100,000 people purchase. They don't just stream, but purchase my music. 100,000 people. Every time I go to a show, or they always, you know what I'm saying? 100,000 people always show up for me. I can probably do a stadium in Atlanta because I know 100,000 people in Atlanta are super fans. Let's go. I just sold out the Superdome in Atlanta because you know that there are actual real people, not just streams, not just Instagram followers, not just things that can be manipulated, not YouTube views, but you know that there are 100,000 people in this one area that always are buying, selling, posting pictures, posting videos. They are super fans of me in this area. You can sell out a stadium there because all you need is 60,000, 70,000 people to fill out a stadium. So if you have 100,000 people, then you can definitely sell out a stadium. But if you don't have that many people there, then you can't expect that. You can't just be like, okay, I have 100,000 followers and they're all in Atlanta. Let's do a stadium in Atlanta. It doesn't work like that. Because some people follow you to hate you. Some people follow you just because it's cool to follow you. Fear of missing out. You understand what I'm saying? So my biggest point is just I wasn't surprised by the news that Odu couldn't sell in Australia, because nothing has ever shown me. I have audiences in Australia for just from my music, and my biggest streaming countries is America, United States. America's not a country. United States, Germany, Australia's up there, Indonesia's up there. You know what I'm saying? If you're really tapped in, you know what type of music certain countries and certain areas of the world lean more towards. You understand what I'm saying? Like I've seen, you know, uptick in streams from Indonesia. And when I looked up, you know, what Indonesian hip hop is, a lot of Indonesian hip hop is based on, you know, kind of more revolutionary movements and stuff like that. So me talking about what I talk about in my music, I can see how a person that's a fan of hip hop in Indonesia can discover me and be like, wow, I really like this artist because he makes the similar music to what I already listen to. Australia, a lot of people, I have a good amount. I'm not gonna say I have millions of people, but I get regular streams in Australia. So it's just like, okay, I can see this type of music is what they listen to in Australia. So you got to know where your music really resonates in. And I do believe Drake's music, what's the word? Drake's music resonates the best with American culture. You understand what I'm saying? I understand the whole not like us, whatever like that. I'm not talking about black culture. I'm saying American culture, the things Drake raps about, the things Drake goes through and does in his music, says in his music, resonates the most with capitalistic, materialistic, greedy, manipulative, predatory America. You understand what I'm saying? It resonates the most because that is his music is a reflection of American culture at the end of the day. Not black culture, but American culture lives and dies on exactly what Drake raps about, which is why Drake can do American arena tours all the time, because his fans are the strongest here because his music resonates the most here. And Canada's not that far from America, so it makes sense. You understand what I'm saying? He's Canadian, he's a Canada darling, so Canada and America, his music is going to resonate the most there compared to everywhere else. Not saying he doesn't have fans worldwide, but his music isn't going to resonate with entire countries as much as it will with America, because his subject matter resonates the most with the culture of America. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, that was just what I want to talk about, how I really predicted this shit. And I've been doing that. I'll say, this looks like this, I predict this, and it usually happens because it's common sense. A lot of things that happen are usually common sense, so I just put two and two together and be like, oh, this is what's going to happen because it's most likely to happen. You understand what I'm saying? And like I said, you only do American tours. I don't think you have confidence in yourself that you can do a tour anywhere else. And your arrogance and all that, which has gotten you in trouble a lot in the past year, your arrogance and maybe Steak not truly understanding your metrics. When you was on XQC's stream, he barely knew who you were. Like, he knew who you were, but when somebody asked a question about Scorpion, you didn't know what that was. Like, you've been on stream with people who don't know you. I don't know where XQC is from, but wherever he's from, he don't know who you are. He was like, oh, Drake, okay, that's cool. Yeah, bring him on. Dude asked him about Scorpion. He said, what's Scorpion? What's Certified Lover Boy? Like, he didn't know who you were. He didn't know anything about hip hop. So, yes, you're one of the biggest, if not the biggest hip hop artists that we've had, but biggest artist in the world, you haven't cracked that yet. I'm about to see where XQC is from. XQC? Birthplace? Wow. He's from Canada. He's from Quebec. That's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't know that. So yeah, he's from Canada, and he barely knew who you were. He's Canadian. He was Canadian. I didn't even know that. I thought he was like from a whole nother place. But anyways, final subject, if I could get to it, where we at? We're going to talk about the business of misogyny, and that goes into my earlier talk. And this goes into a video I was watching a few days ago too. There is just so much business that is based off of the tearing down of women. We could talk about the manosphere and the business of the manosphere, how people have made millions and millions of dollars off of just making content that basically either belittles, sexualizes, dehumanizes women. We can talk about how a lot of, I don't want to say all, because I actually am into hip hop, so I know it's not all. But even when people want to talk about hip hop in its totality or the history of hip hop, they like to focus on the misogyny of hip hop. No, that is what the labels have pushed to represent hip hop. It's not all of hip hop. That's just what the labels and the mainstream have pushed to be the all of hip hop. And hip hop has become one of the most profitable, one of the biggest genres of music to ever exist. And that goes and it's been off the back of not only the what's the word? Just the coonery. I don't even want to say that, but the exploitation of black struggle, but it's back of belittling, dehumanizing black women, tearing them down. And even though I don't agree personally that when someone is talking about bitches or hoes, that they're only talking about black women. I feel like that is an ignorant stance to take. That when y'all talking about bitches and hoes, like Andrew Schultz, when people were telling him, hey, don't talk like that about black women, that's disrespectful and that's wrong. And then he brought up, but y'all been talking about bitches and hoes for years. Why make the assumption that when we refer to bitches and hoes that we're only talking about black women? You know, there are people that there are hip hop artists that only date white women. Their history, all their relationships, they date a Spanish girl or a white girl, but you don't really see them with black women. There are a lot of hip hop artists that love white women, and they have their troubles and their issues with white women. So to just assume that bitches and hoes only refer to black women is just ignorant. But yeah, there's a lot of business in misogyny in America. You know what I'm saying? The sexualizing the women, they like to say sex sells. Yeah, sex only sells because you've been selling sex this entire time. You can't say, we have to do this because sex sells. That's what people want to see. Yeah, people want to see because you taught them to see it. If that was never a thing to be seen, people wouldn't just be craving like, we need more ass shaking in this. No, because there was never a thing. But once you make it a thing, then people are gonna be like, wow, this doesn't look right without it. You know what I'm saying? Even wrestling, as a wrestling fan and watching clips and videos and just of WB late 90s 2000s and how the bra and panty matches, bikini contests, the swimsuit, the hog pin fights, all these ways of just sexualizing and having Trish Stratus get down on her knees and bark like a dog, like all that is just like, but it's the business of misogyny. It's the business of, hey, we are trying to appeal to young teenage boys, and for some reason, this is what young teenage boys want to see, and it's not. It's not. The thing is, young teenage boys want to see what you sell because they're impressionable. They at that age, they can't determine what they want to see. They only want to see what they've been taught to see at a certain age. So to be like, yes, the belittling and the misogyny and tearing down young women, this is what the teenage boys want to see, so we're going to give it to them. Here you go. No, they didn't know they wanted to see. That's not what when we talk about the edginess that people wanted to see in wrestling, they were talking about what ECW, even though ECW had their forms of it too, but ECW was having hardcore matches, people jumping off, going through tables, hitting each other with chairs. That violence, that edginess, that grittiness, that raw, that realness, that's what they wanted to see. Trying to say like, this is the ratings are going to go up because of this and that. It's just like, no. We got to talk about Playboy, and we got to talk about all these other magazines that existed that just only exist off of the sexualization of women. You know what I'm saying? There's so much business in misogyny and holding women only down as sex objects and things to listen to or whatever like that. And I think that's why, to me, even though the Grammys aren't the end all be all, just seeing Beyonce, Doechii, Rhapsody, because even though we're talking about misogyny, the people that get it the worst is black women. You know what I'm saying? Black women get it the worst. So to see them be celebrated by the Grammys, that's a big thing. Especially, like I say, in the time, like I talked about earlier, in a time where all you saw from black women was the Sexy Reds and the Glorilla, not Glorilla. Well, kind of Glorilla, but the Sexy Reds, the Ice Spices, the Lottos, where it's just, I'm going to be hypersexual. I'm going to make hypersexual music. I'm going to be shaking ass and doing this all on my Instagram. When you've been giving that so long, and nothing's wrong with that. I love Lotto, love Sexy Red, love. I fuck with Ice Spice, but not musically. You understand what I'm saying? All of the black women love Cardi B. All the black and Hispanic women that have been in hip hop, I have an appreciation for all of them. But we need more individualization. We need more. You gotta stand out. You have to show who you are, and that's kind of why Cardi B kind of took off the way she took off, because she kind of like stood out from the pack, even though she was before the current pack. But we just need more than the same thing over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? So to see women with actual artistic integrity, the actual things that they stand on, and stuff like that, to get celebrated means it says a lot. But at the same time, you got to realize too that certain things only happen because they need to happen and not because they should, if that makes sense. So it's like some people do it just for an agenda, to check something off of a box. But it's still a good moment, and you just don't want to damper it and, you know, come with a pessimistic outlook on it. But I do think there needs to be a change in that. It won't change. Me just talking about it ain't going to change it. But I do feel like, and this goes into my next song that I'm going to put out on Valentine's Day, we got to be more appreciative and more respectful in hip hop, but in general, in America in general, but really in hip hop. We got to stop falling for these rage debates that all it exists to do is to keep tearing down and looking at women like they're less than human, like they're inhumane, like they're immoral beings. Like like men are any better. History has shown that men are the worst people ever. History has shown, when we're talking about mass genocides, mass anything, when we're talking about the worst things to ever happen in human history,
He said he was gonna send it to yours.
we're talking about men. We're not talking about women. When we're talking about the worst things to happen to women, we're talking about from men. So this, it just got to stop. It just got to change. We got to be a little bit more realistic. We got to leave these echo chambers that we existed in, that make it okay, or make us believe that it's okay, and that, oh, this is warranted. Oh, they deserve this, and I hate that. Give them what they deserve. Who says they deserve it? Why? Because they just exist. And why don't you, as a man, get what you deserve? Why is it, oh, I'm gonna play victim, and oh, it's so bad and so hard out here for men, when you get what you deserve, quote unquote? But when the actual marginalized group of people just exists, and they get attacked and beaten up and yelled at and spit on and cursed out and called out their names and this and that for no apparent reason, that's what they deserve. It's weird. We got to stop it. It ain't gonna happen through just me alone. It has to be a group thing. You know what I'm saying? But it has to stop. It has to be slowed down. You know, if it's warranted, we got to hold these standards to people that is warranted for, not just genders or sexes that is warranted for. Every individual human should be held accountable for their actions. We can't all keep living on this. It's cool for him, but it's not cool for her. We can't just keep living on that, because we'll get nowhere doing that. We got to hold everybody accountable for everything that they do. You understand what I'm saying? I know that people don't like that. People don't want to be held accountable. People want to be able to do, I should be able to do whatever I want and not be able to suffer the consequences for it. Yeah, I know that's what you want, but that's not how the world works. And that's not how the world should work. You know what I'm saying? I believe in, you should be able to do whatever you want. You should be able to be who you want to be. But if you're being a terrible person, if you're being an asshole, if you're being a dick, you should be held accountable for it. You know what I'm saying? And that goes into, oh boy, you was dissing people, you were being a dick, you were being an asshole, you were being this and that for so long, and now you're getting what you asked for, and you want to play the victim. And the people like you want to take your side while they have pending cases going, while they're talking crazy to little boys in the chats, while they're hanging around people that have done inappropriate things to little girls and little boys, while they're berating and yelling and screaming and cursing out women and beating on women. Those exact same people that are defending you are the ones that are just as bad. So we gotta just we gotta stop platforming and giving so much attention and so much reverence to terrible people, terrible men, terrible women, but we gotta stop moving the goalposts when it comes to one versus the other. I don't like that. I don't agree with that. I feel like that's childish. That's stupid. You understand what I'm saying? Because yeah, misandry exists. There are women that hate men, but just the same. There's men that hate women, and one is a way bigger problem than the other. Not even close. Not even close. The system is built off of the backs of men that look at women as not equal. The entire system is built off of the woman being the lesser and the man being the superior. And you can do whatever you want to women, and it's okay. Who cares? Grab her by the pussy. You know what I'm saying? That's the system we live in. The system isn't built off of women tearing men down, attacking men, abusing men. It's not built on that, and it never has been. So to act like one is an equal problem to the other when the entire system, this entire patriarchy, I know y'all don't like that word, this entire patriarchy is built off of men downplaying, abusing, talking crazy, talking wild, disrespecting women. We can't just act like it's equal. And yeah, that is a problem, but let's not talk about, well, we got to talk about the women that also, like, no, it's not the same. But that's it for me. Probably my longest one. We're going to try and get some clips out of it. I don't know what clips I could get because I went on long tangents about everything. But fuck it. We here. That's it for me. I'm out. Too sweet. Deuces.